Hey everyone, Leaf here, just on my home from work, so I figured that would be a great time to talk to you about how I'm doing 4 days after my vasectomy. Now, brief history, went in on Thursday, I should say, for my second vasectomy. The first one didn't take, so this isn't a new experience for me. I'm used to following up this surgery. I've done it before. I understand what to do. When you leave surgery, they give you a little list of stuff that you need to do as follow-ups and that you should do immediately. They give you a prescription for painkillers, which you may or may not fill or depending on how you're feeling. Extra strength Tylenol generally works. They tell you no bathing or showering for the first 3 to 4 days. They say no heavy lifting, no strenuous activities, sort of in the same category, because stress on your body and your core muscles, which will cause complications with the surgery. And they also say to ice regularly, like 20 minutes of stretch for every couple hours for at least the first 24 hours, or during the day and then following up the next day. Now, for me, the wheels sort of fell off a little bit with some of those. I was good. I didn't do any heavy lifting. I didn't get into any strenuous activities as much as I want to, because I've been working out every day for quite a while, or almost every day. So this sitting around not doing anything is just killing me. But I've been behaving. I haven't done any heavy lifting, any real strenuous activity. I have been doing a bunch of moving around, just trying to keep myself feeling helpful, keep myself feeling useful. And that's sort of been a strike against me. Or the showering, I did pretty good. I made it about 72 hours after surgery, so not necessarily the 3 days. But my stitches are fine. I've been checking them. No concerns there. Where I've really fallen off and things have gone horribly wrong was the icing. Because I've done this once before, I didn't really have to ice the last time, and I had no complications. I figured, okay, yeah, it's not going to be an issue this time. Well, I'm sort of regretting that decision. I really should have been doing some icing this go around. The ice keeps the swelling down, it keeps the bruising down, and I'm currently suffering from both of those. I have swelling, have a bruising, which makes things awfully sensitive. Now, the bruising is a bit of a pooling of blood, so blood has some mass to it, and at this point in time, you really don't want any extra stress in the area than you can, if you can avoid it. So, yeah, that's been a little bit of a problem. A bit of a hack for it, which is also in the leaflet that they give you for when you leave. It says wear supportive undergarments or a sports support, or jockstrap basically, and that will make a difference, because that takes a lot of the weight off, and instead of your body having to support itself, you're helping it. Now, I've been doing good with that, so boxers, briefs it is, lots of support, but it hasn't necessarily been the best of help because of all the other issues that I've been putting myself through with moving around a lot and not icing. Those are the two. If you do absolutely nothing else, with the exception of making sure you don't do any heavy lifting, icing and rest are really the two important things that you need to do. If you don't do those, you're going to be in a world of hurt, and it will actually delay the recovery time. So it's currently where I am right now. I've got bruising, I've got swelling, and it's just not a pleasant feeling. So hopefully, with some luck, this is going to clear up fairly quickly by starting to make these changes. So just getting home now, I'm gonna go have supper, and then I'm gonna find myself a nice ice pack, bag of frozen peas, something, and I'm just gonna veg out for a little bit and try and get some of the swelling down. And I'm gonna try to do this fairly regularly for the next little while, just to try and get everything back to normal, because made some promises. Next week I'm supposed to be back running a fitness class. I really want to be physically able to do it, and with the way I'm going right now, I don't know if that's going to be the case. So they give you instructions, follow the instructions. It'll make your life so much better. You don't necessarily need to fill the prescription unless you're really doing something wrong and you actually hurt yourself. You really don't need the painkillers that they prescribe you because they're very strong. But follow the instructions, rest, ice, wear supportive undergarments, and it's going to speed up the recovery process and you'll be back to normal a heck of a lot faster. So learn from my mistakes, take my word for it, don't find out for yourself. Follow the instructions, take it easy, and you'll feel a whole lot better.